Hello, my name is Joe Depman. I'm here today to discuss the question of whether 2 billion lions would be able to beat one of every Pokemon in a battle to the death. I'm here with my special guest, Joe Depman. Hello, my name is Joe Depman, and I will be representing the side of the lions. Now, before we get into the video, I'd like to hear a word from our sponsor. It's sponsored by NordVPN. Staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty, and you could be exploited by hackers. NordVPN allows you to change your IP address, making you harder to track, securing your privacy. Check out the link in the description to get 20% off for the next 2 months. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Whenever I go on the internet, I use NordVPN because it's the safe and smart option. If you're going on the internet to use the internet and you're not using NordVPN, what are you doing? You're just being dumb right now. It's like going to a restaurant and leaving your search history open for everyone to read. Someone is going to steal your information unless you get NordVPN right now. Thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring us again, and now back to the video. Alright, getting started. I'm going to be speaking on the side of the Pokemon. So, off the bat, we can already say that the Pokemon definitely have the advantage considering there are many Pokemon such as Arceus and, many others that are basically gods. I don't really see how Pokemon would lose to lions in this situation, considering they have pretty much omnipotent beings on their side that could kill all the lions that they wanted to pretty easily. And I know a common counter argument is that we are basing this off the games and that they all have limited amount of moves they can do, and they're not actually gods. But here's the thing, that wouldn't make sense, because then the lions would also have to be going off the same system as Pokemon. And, that really just doesn't make any sense because they're lions. So what I'd like to say is that even though there is the possibility of it being based off the game, that also means that the lions would most likely be normal type, considering they're just normal lions, which means that they would not be able to touch any of the ghost type Pokemon, meaning they really wouldn't be able to beat the Pokemon anyway. So their best shot is if this is based off the Pokedex and the real animal. So what I'd like to say is that there is so many different Pokemon that would definitely be able to annihilate all the lions pretty much on their own, considering all of the godlike Pokemon such as Arceus, you got Rayquaza, you got all the ones that mess with space and time like Palkia and Dialga and things like that, and really it just wouldn't be fair for the lions at all. I'd also like to say that there are many different things such as G-Max or Mega Evolution and things like that that would just give the Pokemon the edge, really. Oh, are you done yet? That was really boring. Alright, so what you obviously didn't seem to understand about this question is that's like a lot of... can I finish my part? Because, this isn't really how we do things. You can't just interrupt me, So as I was saying... No, actually, I'm going to speak now because you obviously lack the understanding of how much 2 billion lions is. Like, that's a lot of lions. Can you even, fathom the amount of lions that is? If you were to put up 2 billion dominoes right next to each other and then turn all of those into lions, that's how many lions there'd be. That's a lot of lions. Well, that might be a lot of lions, but as I've already said, it doesn't matter how many lions there are if none of them could possibly beat a lot of the Pokemon. Just any of the steel types or in general, or ghosts actually, because, they're intangible. And, there are so many Pokemon with amazing abilities that could just wipe out mass amounts of lions at the same time. And, you're not even factoring in all the flying Pokemon that you couldn't even reach them. The lions are stuck on the ground. They're on the ground. They cannot reach the flying Pokemon. It just, you can't win. I don't know why you're even trying to debate for the side of lions. It just doesn't. So actually, the lions would easily be able to reach any flying type Pokemon very easily. See, you know what the lions could do? There's 2 billion of them. So the lions could stack on top of each other and make a lion construct of stairs or something so that the other lions, the other like billion lions, could climb up the stairs and get to whatever Pokemon it is and kill them easily because they're lions. They're strong. They do that. And any god Pokemon that you have, it doesn't matter because there's so many lions. Like you don't even realize 2 billion lions. That's a lot of lions. So I seem to have come into this unprepared because I didn't realize how stupid you are. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Just because there's 2 billion lions doesn't mean that you can kill an omnipotent being. First of all, it's in space, so you'd have to get there first, which your lions can't. They're stuck on the ground. I mean, you know, Arceus could just blow up the planet and oh no, 2 billion lions crying out for help as they burn to death. Or you know, if they do, you know, see, actually, I don't know, and I don't care. If Arceus ever attacked Earth with a giant laser from space, the lions could get together because, you know, there's 2 billion of them, and they could form a giant shield protecting the rest of the lions from Arceus, leaving those lions to be free to go and attack Arceus. You know, I'm really surprised, to say the least, because, you know, if they took all 2 billion of those lions and each one of them had the same amount of brain cells as you, they would still have 0 brain cells among them. You know, if all the lions got together and they formed a shield, how would that stop the laser at all? Also, the lions aren't able to go after Arceus afterwards. He's in space. It's still space. How are you getting up to? So actually, I've done some research, and it turns out that every lion is about 3.9 feet tall. You know, 3.9 times 2 billion is a lot, okay? And, you know, that number is probably high enough to get to space. I don't know how high that is, but it's probably high enough, you know? And I actually have this, what's your name again? Joe Depman. I have the specialist, Joe Depman, here to prove what I'm saying is true. Come on in. Hello, I'm the specialist, Joe Depman. See, I'm a leading figure on this topic, and according to my studies, that's a lot of lions. Wow, you know, you got me there. I can't really argue with the facts. That was really great. You know, I was gonna mention the fact that there's a slug Pokemon hotter than the surface of the sun, but I can't even argue with that. That's such a great, well put together response. So, you know, I'm gonna end the video here. Comment down below who you thought won the debate, and maybe sometime we'll have Joe Depman come back for another video. Thank you, and peace.